Hey guys, Jeff Ryan here. It's Thursday. We're trying to look outside here. We got a hurricane going on, and they decided not to have us going to work today. Thank God. It isn't too bad right now where I'm at here in the Sarasota Bradenton area, but man, I think the Panhandle is going to get pelted here in a few hours. That's part of living in Florida. I hate to say it, it's part of living in Florida. Well, the good news is I get to start the video earlier this week instead of the weekend. Again, today's Thursday. Now, just for fun, I was out here a bit ago, and I wanted to make the stake truck and the dump truck interchangeable with the cab. That's what I wanted to do. So what I did is I found a way to, the pegs on the bottom here, I found a way to make them fit into the cab better. Now, the stake truck, the bed there, it just snaps right in. It snaps right in. So what I want to do today is I want to go ahead and get these glued up to where it looks like, you know, a proper stake truck bed. And then, guys, how do you think I made the bottom of it work? How do you think I made the tabs? And I'm not going to show you. I'll show you on this one. But those little tabs on the bottom of the dump truck, what do you think I did to them? What do you think I did to them? Leave that in the comments below. We'll get to it, but leave that in the comments below. What do you think I did to it to make it fit in there better? And I haven't addressed the chassis. I know the chassis works, but I'm probably going to tear it apart and clean it. Look at the back gear there. Kind of nasty. So we'll definitely get to that. I was considering leaving it as is without any accents on the front there. But that's like the trade signature for it, you know? It wouldn't be too hard to do it. I love the things that don't have the factory accents on. Been going back and forth on that. And I still have to get the bumpers painted up here on the Camaro. They fit really good. Front and back bumper fit really good. The glass, it fits real good, but it just drops out. It just absolutely drops out. All right, hey, these are on my bench. I got a 55 Chevy the side step there, and it's a push car. And I got a 64.5 Mustang there. I was asked this probably about 2.5 months ago. They asked me very nicely, and I said yes. They said, have you ever taken a push car and converted it into a slot car? Pardon me, many times. I did the Monster Mobile, the Dragula. I've done both of these. Now, what's interesting about the side step there is trying to fit a standard T-Jet chassis up underneath of it. That's difficult. You're gonna have to modify some things to try to do that. So I always went with a slimline, and it seemed to work out real good. Now the Mustang here, if I just grab a standard T-Jet chassis, if I recall here, it's a pretty easy transition from getting this to a push car into a slot car. And what's nice about these, I think they're made by Kinsmart or somebody like that. You see the screw there? Sometimes you have rivets, like, and there's only one screw. Here. So we just literally undo the screw there, and all the guts falls out, the chassis falls out. But if you have rivets, you have to grind them out. You get a drill and you grind them out, then all of a sudden the chassis falls out. That's how you approach that. If you got a Hot Wheel or anything like that you want to convert into a slot car, the caution that I have is make sure the wheel well distance is going to fit a chassis. If not, you have to be able to modify the way the front or the back wheels go, which can be a fun project unto itself, but be mindful of that. If you get one that fits just right, it's a dream. It's an easy project. All right, just for fun, let me gather some parts and things, and we'll get going on this. I just got a standard T-Jet chassis. I got one of them from the bin I got over there. I got a number of them that are ready to go. Again, it hasn't been oiled or anything. I know it runs, but I'm going to have to address that. It looks like it's in a really good shape. Now, I think, what do we got, a long wheel well? Yeah, we got a long wheel well. And let me compare that. Yeah, that's not going to be the short wheelbase, is it? That's going to be a long wheelbase. So we're good there. All right, very good. I'm still gathering parts, and one of the parts you're going to need are the screw posts, because these are metal. They've got one metal screw post, and there's not one in the back there, so I'm going to have to make them. I've been asked this so many times. I use the Evergreen, and here's the tubing that I use. There's all the specs on it. Now here's the caveat. The only caution is, and I'm trying to get it in focus here, You see the inside diameter of the tube? It's a little fatter than you want it to be, so to speak. What I do, God, I'm trying to get it in focus here. You gotta bring it up. There you go. All right, you see how fat that is? What I do is I take a little bit of the glue and I put it on the inside of the tube there, and then that fattens it up and it holds the screw real well. Now they also, and I just got a little piece here, just got a tiny little piece, the Evergreen also makes square tubing that I've used for the screw posts. And that hole there works really good with the screw right away. I don't know that a lot of guys always want to use a square screw post since we're accustomed to the round, but they do. Evergreen makes a square one that I've used. All right, just a sec. Just for fun, while I'm gathering the parts over there, I'm going to start gluing the stake bed rails onto the stake truck, the stake truck rails onto the bed. That's what I'm going to do. And what I do is I just get a little bit of the glue on the tabs there. I use a toothpick, then I'm going to go ahead and stick them into the slots. Okay, I got all the side rails on. I neglected to get the, what is that, the coupling, I guess, that holds the rear wheels. So I got to glue that on too. Just a sec. All right, good. That assembly is on now. The whole kit is just straightforward, easy to do. I love it. I love it. Again, rather boring on eBay. Here's his prices on this. He just sent this to me. He knows I do a lot of videos recommending his stuff. Why? Because he produces great stuff. Absolutely wonderful stuff. He sent it to me, and I had no idea it was coming. And just putting it together, it's a blast, guys. It's a fun kit. We'll definitely get into that chassis. I'm going to let that dry. Let's go back to the Mustang. Okay, good. Back to the Mustang. I'm going to take a Phillips and get the chassis off the body here. Should only take a second. The, what do we got in there? The steering wheel, the seats, all it should just come right out. Just got the chassis off that black screw over there, was holding it together. And well, where's it? There it is. Okay, I got to get the, oh God, what is that? The steering wheel there? It should just pull out. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now here's what we have to do. Those two little nubs that were holding the console in the steering wheel, they may have to be ground down if I recall. And the front screw post there, we need to replace it with one of the styrene ones. So that's going to be have to be ground down as well. The back there, what is that, a number 1 or something? Just to make it smooth and flat, I might get rid of that too. Let me go ahead and get my cutter bit and we'll do some grinding here in just a sec. Okay, good. This little cutter bit, that's what I'm used to grind those little nubs out in the front screw post. I've got a barrel sander that I might get that number 1 off with. All right. All right, I still got some more to do. I've been getting after it. I've cut probably about halfway through that screw post there, and I'll get those little nubs off as well, but doing good. I have got the screw post out. I'm going to still grind down a little bit more, and I've got to work on the nubs. I've got everything ground down to my satisfaction. I get the number 1 off there, little nubs and the front screw post. I did a bit ago put some glue in the center of the tube here that'll help the threads on the screw feel a little bit better. And what was funny is when I was taking the chassis apart, I just turned the Mustang over and the glass fell out. What's interesting though is they made, they painted the silver accents for the window trim on the windshield. Pretty cool idea. All right, we need to get on the screw post here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, like an educated guess, just cut some small ones. Then when I attach them to the chassis and then put the body on, that'll give me a better idea of how much we have to trim them back or sand them back. Hey guys, it's Friday morning, day after the storm. Still a little bit blustery out, a lot of debris in the road, but we fared pretty good. Just got done walking the dogs. And again, nothing but right now, just a little bit blustery. And I don't know how the panhandle hit. I hope people are okay, because boy, that was a big storm. That was a big storm going by. Where were we? I was starting the screw post, right? We're starting the screw post. I think I got one cut. Yes, I do. I got one cut. So I'm going to cut another one, and then we're going to put those on the chassis and then line them up with the body where we need them. I got both the screw posts cut to a good starting length. What I'll do now, and I threaded them a little bit, they just went in absolutely perfectly. The glue on the inside of the tube helps the screw grip to it, so that's how I overcome that. I'm going to put them on the chassis, then we set the body on the chassis, then that'll allow us to figure out how much we got to cut down on the screw posts. I know it's too funny. The back one doesn't look like it's too far off, but look at the front one. Look at the front one. Let's see what we get just for fun. Yeah, it's doing it's doing a wheelie just standing there. So again, the back one doesn't look too bad height-wise. It might trim down a little bit, but the front one's going to have to come down a bit. I'm going to lop some off, and I'm going to go ahead and use. I got one of these files here. I'm just going to go ahead and sand it down. Do it by hand. I don't want to take too much off using the Dremel. You know what? Okay, I think I got both the screw posts where I want them. Look at the wheel wells, how they're sitting there. That looks pretty tight. I like that. I'm going to go with that. I got them both trimmed down, sanded down, and I think it's on there right where I want it. All right, that's how the screw post ended up there. I was just having a consideration. I'm probably getting ahead of the game here. Probably getting ahead of the game because nothing's glued in. Don't even have the windshield in. Oh, come on. Let's see if we can get it going just a little bit. I'm not going to open it up whatsoever. I don't want that body flying off. But it's working. It's working. And the wheel well distance there, again, it's such a dream when it lines up that easy for you. Fantastic. So right now I need to get the windshield glued in. That should be very easy. Then I got to get the screw post glued to the body. And I've seen it done this way too. What was interesting is I saw one gentleman install the screw post into the body first, and then the chassis. That just befuddled me. I always thought put the screw post on the chassis, and then you can go back and check it, the body on that. That seems like, to me, the right way to do it. All right, let's get this thing glued up. Got the windshield glued in, screw posts are glued to the body. Now I just got to leave it alone and not touch it for quite some time. It is Friday afternoon. Everything should be good and dry and everything. I do want to get it on the track. I don't know if the transformer's on. It is, and that one is too. Good. Let's see what we get, guys. Oh, looks good. I'm going to open it up. If that body's glued on, yes, I'm going to open it up. I got to put on the big track. I can't wait. Here we go. Here we go. That's looking sharp. So if that's, so the type of car or whatever, Mustang, Hot Wheel, push cars, that type of thing, you want to convert it into a slot car, that's the method. You're going to have to add screw posts some way to attach the body to the chassis there. That's what you got to do. I am pleased as punch at the way they come out. Looked really good, doesn't it, guys? Looks really good. Okay, we still have to get to the bumpers there of the Camaro there. I do want to paint them silver, and I do want to get the windshield in. Also, I think everything should be dry there on the stake truck. We'll see how everything fits here in just a sec. I'm going to take a second to get the bumpers painted up for the Camaro. So I've got them on my spray stick here, and I got that double-sided sticky tape. I got to go inside and I got to get the Revell Chrome. I'm going to get that out and start shaking it up. Here is the Revell Chrome spray, and I've used it. I love it. I've also used the Molotov. I like the Molotov, especially when you use it through a airbrush. It comes out good, but I think that the Revell is just a cut above. I really do. Again, I've been shaking it up for the last couple minutes. I've got the bumpers ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and get them sprayed up. I've got them painted up. I'm going to take them inside where it's less humid, get them to dry. Tell you what, while the bumpers are drying, it's a good opportunity for me to go ahead and get that glass glued in there. And isn't that something, that orange there, that's not on the plastic, that's in the plastic. That really is. That's in the resin there. And it looks like there's some on the inside of the roof too, just a little bit, but you can still see some of the orange. Very good. I got that windshield glued in there, and I've got these painted up. They should be dry enough. I'm going to get them off the spray stick here and get them on the body. Wow. All right. Look at that. Look at that bumper on there. Back bumper. That came out great. Windshields in it. Came out wonderful. I considered doing the silver accents, but I am a sucker for the one that don't have any accents on it. What I do need is a guide pin, right? Yeah, I need a guide pin. Got to get a chassis too. I want to see this thing on the track. Well, I like that yellow. You know what? What is it? Lemon yellow? I really like that. I totally like that color. It's a good contrast against the black track. You know what? It just stands out. Like the light orange stands out. Yeah, white is an opposite of the black, but I just like the way the yellow stands out, the orange stands out. You can really see them on the track. Boy, that thing came out nice. Boy, that came out good. I am digging that. I'm totally digging that. I like the kit. I like the kit. Very good. Okay, now I do have to address the chassis here. I know that it runs, but it's probably been years since it's been oiled and whatnot. And if I'm not mistaken, don't these state trucks and dump trucks, don't they usually have like the skinny tires? I don't have many of those. I probably got 3, 4 left, so I'm going to go with these fatter tires. I know a lot of guys would prefer to have the other ones on, but you got to use what you got, what you have in your bin there. You know what? Well, I tell you what, I'm going to have a hard time taking that Camaro off the track. I like the way it came out. Being a kit car, digging it. Totally digging it. I'm liking it. Now, let me, I've been trying to clean up the bench a little bit. Let me bring everything back over to my work area over here to the right. Just a sec. Okay, I'm going to get into that chassis in just a second, but here's the thing. The state truck bed, I've always said that it snaps in and fits real good. Let me change out the dump truck bed real quick. There you go, and the same thing applies. That thing's not going to come out. So once again, what did I do to the tabs underneath to get that to stay in so well? Because when I first got it, you'd put it in, you'd turn it over, and it'd just fall out. It'd just fall out. So I got a way to interchange those. I kind of liken it to the El Camino. When I was able to change the surfboards out there, if I want a different surfboard, I can just pop a different one in, different color. I like the fact that, hey, you got the stake truck, you got the dump truck, you can change them out the way you want. It's just a fun little deal. All right, so I got that covered. Let me go ahead and put the back axle onto the stake truck bed there, and I'm going to jump into the chassis next. Got the back wheels on the stake truck, and they fit real good. And I started turning with the cab here. I have neglected to address the screw posts. I didn't think about it. Neither one's threaded. And look at that front one. Doesn't that look like it's just a tiny hole? I'm going to have to bore that out, then go ahead and thread the screw post real quick. The bit that I use, what is it, like a 1.6, 1.7 millimeter, and I just bore the holes out like that with that, and then the threading the screws makes it a whole lot easier. I bored out both the holes here. The back one didn't need it very much, but the front one did. I've got them finger tightened in there. I'm just going to use my flat screwdriver, and you go a little bit tight, a little bit back out, a little bit tighten, a little bit back out. You'll cut the threads. There is no hurry. Guys, I have cracked screw posts being in a hurry. Do not do that. Bore them out ahead of time. Go slow in, back it out, go slow a little bit further in, back it out. You'll get there. Each one just takes a couple minutes. That's it. Take your time. I have not measured yet. I just got done tightening it, just eyeballing it. That's the front one, looks pretty good. Back one, I think that's going to do it. Again, without putting the chassis on there, it's hard to know exactly. Let me go ahead and put the cab back together. Oh boy, doesn't that look good? You know what? Doesn't that look good? We got a dump truck and a stake truck beds interchangeable there. I still got to get to the chassis. It just looks great right there. All right, I am pleased, very pleased with the way the kits came together like that. The dump truck and the stake truck, the interchangeable beds, I really like it. I really do. All right, let's see what we got here. Got a mean green armature, looks like. Not too much on the bottom of the comp plate. That's good. That's good. Let me get the magnets out just for fun. And I know I've said this before, but you see how I pull the magnets out? I always make sure that the back one is on the bottom when I set them back. I don't like getting them confused and have to tear apart the chassis to redo the magnet. So I always have a way to do that. Brushes come right out, which is good. That means it's not too gunked up. Let's look at the shoes. And the bottom of the chassis doesn't look bad. I don't see any corrosion, none of the verdigris, nothing like that. So I'm just gonna do a quick cleaning here. I'll get my wire Dremel out and clean the shoes. I'll clean the bottom of the chassis here. I'll definitely clean the brush springs there. And I'll take care of the nasty looking back gear there, and I'll get to the bottom of the comp plate as well. All right, let me set my Dremel up. This is the wire brush that I use, and I use it again on the bottom of the chassis here. It just shines everything up really quick, really easy. I do make particular attention to get into the slots where the shoes go. I really want to get that clean because that's a contact point. And then with the brushes, the brush springs in the center there, I just touch it and around, touch the other one, and then the tops of the brush springs are nice and clean. They're nice and clean. I'm going to follow suit with the shoes, the bottom and top of the assembly here, and just get everything cleaned up. Then I'm going to oil putting things back together. I was just getting to the shoes, and one thing I do with the shoes is I clean every bit of it. I clean the front, the back, the top, bottom, whatever you want to call it, because the corrosion, I haven't got to the one over here yet. You can see the difference. The reason I clean every bit of it is because the corrosion doesn't sleep. You know what I mean? It keeps going. So if you just clean the part that touches the rail there and the part that touches the chassis there, yeah, I get it. Those are the most important. But clean the whole thing. You know what? Clean the whole thing. Only takes a second with this wire brush here. I was just looking at the springs a second ago. Sometimes if they need to be refreshed, what I do is I'll put them on a small screwdriver, and then I can take like one of my thumbnails and stretch it out a little bit while it's on the screwdriver so it doesn't go all over the place. But these look pretty good. All right, I've already started oiling up the top plate there. Let me go and get the chassis and the axles oiled up, and I'm gonna start putting this back together. I am gonna clean the brushes. You guys know how I do that. Just that simple, just that simple. Pardon me. Just rubbing them around there on the paper, you know, fiddling them between your fingers gets all the oil off there. All right, let me put this bugger back together. Got that chassis back together. Pardon me, got it oiled up too. What was funny is I was putting going for the magnets, and I tipped them over with my hand, and I said just earlier, I like to know which is the top and the bottom, so I don't know yet. I don't know if I got them right yet. So let's see what we get here. I know I've got the transformer on, and I'm feeling them with my fingers. The tires are going in the correct direction. So that's good there. There you go. Too funny. Absolutely too funny. You know, again, I pay particular attention to make sure that the magnets are you know, where I want them, and then I pick them up, and then I go ahead and knock them over, and I hit front or back. Too funny. All right, we got the chassis working. The last thing to do is put the body on the chassis there, and I'm still going back and forth whether I should paint that up or not. I'm gonna have to give some consideration because I really like the ones that don't have any factory accents on it, but that is like the cab there, you almost expect to see the grille painted, you know what? All right, let me get the bodies on. Really like the way that came out. I really do, really do. It is track time, guys. Let's see what we get. Oh, looks good, looks good. Oh, the chassis got some pickup to it, doesn't it? The tires, quite frankly, I can hear them. They're probably a little bit drier, need to be sanded, but that looks great. That runs good too. Let's go and try for the outside lane, see if we can open it up a little bit better. Here we go. Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's got some good power to it. I like it. I like it. What a fun kit. And again, if you can interchange the beds like that, you know what I mean? That's a blast. Let me go and get the stake truck on here. Again, boy, it just snaps right in place. That bed just snaps absolutely right in place. That's wonderful. All right, see what we get. Too fun. Too fun. Let me get this on the big track right away. Boy, I like that, the way that works there. Again, as far as the interchangeable bed, that to me, that's an extra, it's just a blast. Hey, you got the one cab. Yeah, well, I can put the state truck on it or I can put the dump truck on it. Too fun. I had one of these years ago, and I was just having fun, and I put cows in the back of it. I put some cows in the back of it. And I forget who told me, they said, that isn't what I think it is, and I just started laughing. Absolutely just started laughing. Guys, tell you what, I had a blast this weekend. I know we started doing the beginning of the video during the hurricane and whatnot, trying times through that until that bugger was over. But had a blast this weekend, I truly did. The Monte Carlo is still up for grabs. Anybody wants that, let me know. I'll get it off to you. The Mustang and the Chevy, the side step. Does anybody want to take a stab at doing the side step? My caution is you got to have a slimline chassis. If I recall correctly, that's what you need to make that work. I might be wrong. You might be able to get a regular chassis up there, but I'm recalling slimline. Again, guys, I did these 25 years ago plus, something like that. So if you want to give that a shot, raise your hand. Let me know in the comments below. Email me. My email should be at the bottom of the screen right there. Same thing with the Monte Carlo. You know, if you want to take a stab at painting that one up, let me know. The bumpers are done. The bumpers are all chromed out. There's the glass in there, guide pins or screws. It's just a kit ready to go. But man, I had a blast. I like the way the dump truck and the state truck, you can interchange them like that if you want to. It's just fun. It's absolutely fun. And guys, I always say this, let me know if you need anything. I am here for you. Questions, wants, concerns, how-tos, let me know. I'm here for you. Take care, guys. See ya.